think more so Crawford naturally was a 47-pounder, and maybe can grow at 54 because he's a little bit bigger, but
Yeah.
68, yeah. And
Kind of had.
you need some time to be there. If you haven't fought like one or two times there where we can kind of measure. I mean, yeah. I sparred with him right after that fight. Actually, I'm healed up a little bit better. Everything's better with
Yeah.
me. And Canelo said to me, or his coach, no, Canelo said to me, he said, you're a lot better at 147. You're faster. You get harder, and you're better at 47.
The former champ, Shane Mosley, just leaked key behind-the-scenes details from Canelo's training, and he's now advising Terence Crawford on exactly how to break the Mexican fighter's rhythm and hand him a shocking defeat. Before advising Bud, Shane looked back on the time he shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Mosley remembered how tough that moment was, but also how Canelo noticed something different about him. It was a conversation that stuck with Mosley, showing the respect between two fighters who know what it means to battle at the top.
I sparred with him right after that fight. Actually, I'm healed up a little bit better. Everything's better with me. And Canelo said to me, or his coach, Canelo said to me, he said, you're a lot better at 147. You're faster. You get harder, and you're better at 47. And I was thinking to myself, you just don't know that I had some stuff happen to me, but I thought that I could still beat him because he was young.
As the conversation shifted towards the real challenges Terence Crawford could face against Canelo, Shane Mosley dropped a crucial piece of advice, a warning rooted in experience. According to Mosley, stepping too far outside your natural weight can change everything, from speed to endurance, even for the most elite fighters.
Wow.
So that lets me know that fighting at your natural weight, you're actually a better fighter. Like when you go up in weight, I think Jamel Charlo was telling Crawford too. Like when you move to 168, you're gonna slow down. You're not gonna be as fast. You're gonna be slow. You're not gonna be moving out the way as much. It's gonna feel different. You feel like you're getting tired quicker. You know what I'm saying? Because you have extra weight. So you have to deal with that. And it being the first time you ever go up into that type of weight class, that could be a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is the first time that you're entering 168. You've been in the 154 one time. You've been in the 47 your whole career.
But Mosley didn't stop there. He reflected on the heart and mindset of Crawford, offering a deeper look into what could unfold inside the ring. While acknowledging Crawford's impressive skill, Mosley pointed out a crucial truth. Crawford is, at his core, a natural-born fighter, and in a battle against Canelo, there will inevitably come a moment when pure fighting instincts take over.
Now, I know that Crawford's not a runner. He's not a mover. He's a fighter.
Yes.
His mentality is a fighter. So he doesn't know how to do that. I mean, he can do it a little bit, but he can't do it 12 rounds. He's not going to be more on the ring for 12 rounds. There's going to be a point where he's going to have to fight a couple of times because he's a fighter. And that's why we all like Crawford, because he can fight. He's a fighter. That's we like his mentality. He's a fighter.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why, he's getting paid that big money. So it's going to be that time, and we're going to see what happens when that time happens where they got to sit there and throw some real punches.
Meanwhile, shifting focus to Terence Crawford's surprising physical strength, Showbiz the adult couldn't hide his reaction. He highlighted a recent viral moment where Crawford showcased raw power that goes beyond just boxing skills.
His wrestling skills is not a bad point. Listen, did y'all see this video where he tosses a heavyweight to the ground? Listen, dude, not only any heavyweight, this is Nico Ali Wash. He got Ali's blood in him. And here's the thing. When I was clowning you guys and trolling, talking about he can wrestle, listen, bro. It's because it's a boxing match, okay? And it's not wrestling.
Showbiz moved from playful to genuinely impressed, pointing out that the clip wasn't just entertainment, it revealed Crawford's hidden strength, control in the clinch, and physicality that could catch even a powerful fighter like Canelo off guard.
When you look at his footage, he tossed Nico to the ground from a standing position. From a clinching position, he tosses down a heavyweight. The type of position you're clinching in a boxing match. brother, Terrence Crawford is extremely strong. The guy is extremely strong. And I'm gonna tell you this too.
On the other side, newly leaked training footage has fans buzzing as Terrence Crawford sharpens his deadliest weapon, vicious body shots, ahead of the Canelo showdown. Determined to slow down the Mexican superstar, Crawford is pushing his power and precision to brutal new levels in camp. Meanwhile, as the countdown to the biggest fight of his career continues, Terrence Crawford is staying focused and calm. He's been putting in the hard work every single day, making sure his body and mind are fully prepared. Before stepping into the spotlight for the press conference, Crawford shared a confident message about his goal of making history.
Oh, I'm feeling great. I've been working out. Actually, I just got done running before we, head into the press conference. So everything is going according to plan, and I'm looking forward to becoming a 3-time undisputed champion come September 13th.
Moving on, as hype builds for the mega fight, Floyd Mayweather's reported comments about Canelo, shared by Bud's close friend Lonnie B, are turning heads. According to Lonnie, Floyd warned that Canelo's size, power, and constant pressure could overwhelm Crawford, making it tough for him to control the fight and secure victory.
I think it's going to be a good fight for the first 4 rounds. I think Canelo's size just going to, take over. Like I said, I could be wrong. Crawford's phenomenal. But from what I've seen with the kid Maxtronoff and the way he gave him trouble moving up 2 more weight classes, 60 to 68, and Canelo going to come in about damn near 200 pounds. I just think I just don't think Canelo's never been stopped, and I don't think he's going to be able to keep Canelo off of him.
Building on his earlier observations, Lonnie B explained that while Mayweather holds deep respect for both warriors, he didn't hesitate to warn Crawford about the sheer physical challenge ahead. He shared that Floyd believes the early rounds could stay competitive, but Canelo's constant forward pressure and strength might gradually break down Crawford as the fight progresses.
No, I just think it's business. I think Crawford hard as gangster. I think Crawford is phenomenal. I think it's hard as gangster, but I think Canelo, listen, the respect is there for both fighters. I think Canelo's listen, man, you're a good fighter, but you out of your league, young man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to come and I'm about to get in your lane and do 200 and change. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a good fight for the first 4, maybe 5 rounds of that. I think after that, I think Crawford not going to be able to deal with the pressure and getting hit on the hips and the shoulders by a heavier guy that's almost 200 pounds and keep coming forward, and Canelo is a lot harder to hit than what people think.
Furthermore, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. shared his perspective on what matters in the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight. Ignoring the pre-fight drama, he focused on the undeniable skill and mindset both fighters bring into the ring, highlighting Crawford's hunger and readiness to seize his moment.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity.
Furthermore, Roy turned his focus to Canelo, an entertainer and a fighter who always seeks out the biggest challenges. While he believes Canelo has the tools to win, Jones Jr. emphasized that the fight's outcome will hinge largely on Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's powerful shots.
And with Canelo, I see a guy who, not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always try to give them to us. Yeah. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terrence can take his punch. Yeah.
Adding to the growing list of fighters weighing in, former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs shared a balanced take on the matchup. Jacobs believes that when it comes to pure skill, Terrence Crawford holds the advantage, but he also warned that the size difference could become a major factor once the first punches start landing.
Well, I would say Crawford wins the fight based off of the skill set. That's the first and foremost. I think the biggest worry for me when it comes to that is just the size difference. Because obviously, great Mike Tyson said, you you have a game plan until you actually get in there and you get hit, and then that changes the whole outcome of the fight. So I'm hoping that he's able to endure what Canelo's going to bring, but I think he has the skill set to be able to be like eluding all of the big shots and hit, not get hit.
Jacobs went even deeper, pointing to Crawford's defensive brilliance as the key to victory. Quoting the famous line, "Swim without getting wet," he explained that if Crawford can avoid damage while landing clean shots, the upset is possible, though he made sure to show full respect for Canelo's power, experience, and legacy.
What his brother Nassim said, he has the most famous quote, "Swim without getting wet." And so I believe if Crawford could be that the night of the fight, I think he'll be successful. I think it'll be a big shot, but not to the ones that know, right? Canelo is the man, like take nothing away from him, right? But I mean, if you really look at skill set, not putting in the factors of weight and power, I think we kind of got to lead with Crawford, being that he's so diverse.
As Jacobs continues, he also spoke about the legacy impact of the fight. He explained that while a win for either man would be historic, the public perception might differ because of the clear size gap and what each fighter has already achieved in their careers. For Jacobs, the outcome carries different meanings depending on who gets their hand raised.
If Canelo wins, it would be one of his most top tier wins, but it would also be expected. So I don't know if it would take the umph off of it, rather the other way around, because of the size difference and what all Canelo has been accomplishing for the last however many years, you know? And so I think whoever wins the fight, it'll be looked at as a little bit different.
Joining the growing list of voices weighing in, rising star Tim Tszyu offered a thoughtful take on the upcoming clash between Canelo and Crawford. For Tim, the biggest question isn't just about Crawford's sharpness, it's about which version of Canelo will step into the ring. He believes the fight's outcome could change entirely, depending on whether Canelo can return to his prime form.
It's hard to say because it depends on the Canelo that comes out, you know, like the Canelo that fought Triple G in the second one. I thought that was probably the best Canelo that I've seen to date, but the Canelo that I've seen in recent years hasn't been the Canelo from the Triple G days, so that's what it's all about. But then again, Crawford's like 38 years old, but he's still fresh and he hasn't been hit, so that's the real question.
Meanwhile, Tim didn't hold back when asked to break down the technical side of the matchup. While he respects Canelo's accomplishments, Tim pointed out a major flaw he believes could cost the Mexican star predictability. Confident in Crawford's intelligence and ring IQ, he even went as far to give Bud the edge heading into this high-stakes showdown.
I think he's just become predictable, you know? He's got these certain shots and he's used his brute force and physical strength to just bully everyone, you know, but right now in front of him, it's not someone that you can use your strength against because he's very, very smart, Crawford.
If you had to put a percentage on it, 50-50, 60-40 Crawford, 70-30 Canelo,
yeah.
What do you put on it, Tim?
I'd go 65% Crawford.
Furthermore, weighing in on the clash of styles between Canelo and Crawford, veteran boxing analyst Max Kellerman highlighted the importance of timing, defense, and accuracy. For Kellerman, the real question isn't whether these fighters can be hit, it's whether anyone can land clean combinations on them, something that has made both men extremely difficult to dominate inside the ring.
I would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo, but he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
Max continued by highlighting how Canelo has evolved over the years, especially when it comes to cutting off the ring, something that was once a weakness. Trough, he gives credit to Canelo's improvements. Kellerman pointed out that when it comes to pure tactics, Crawford still hold most of the advantages in this high-stakes showdown.
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But you know, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy.
Kellerman then broke down the deeper technical layers of both fighters, explaining how Canelo transformed from a natural counterpuncher into a pressure fighter. While he praised Canelo's durability and skill, he still learned towards Crawford's sharper technical edge, emphasizing that regardless of weight, Canelo's naturally bigger frame could still be a defining factor.
Who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. Adding fuel to the fire, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, shared his confident outlook on the upcoming clash. For Bomac, this isn't about size or hype, it's about two elite competitors looking for any edge they can find. And with each passing day, he believes Crawford is becoming even more dangerous for Canelo to handle.
I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like it's two competitive fighters. Look for the edge, and we might have came out with the edge on that one. You know what I'm saying? I think their fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. You know, the more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse it's off for the opponent.
Furthermore, lightweight star Teofimo Lopez also weighed in on the blockbuster showdown, offering a mixed but intriguing take. While Lopez initially leaned towards Canelo, he admitted he's starting to believe Crawford might shock the world. For Teofimo, the real question is how Crawford handles the jump in weight and whether his recent inactivity would come back to haunt him.
Me, I'm gonna say I've been saying Canelo, but I think Crawford might pull something. You know
why?
I think that the odds are in his favor as far as that. You know, the reason why people are going to tune in is not just because of Canelo, it's going to be mainly because of the Crawford. How is he going to do going up, you know, 2 more weight classes, you know, especially after the Madrimov fight that he had in, last year?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem, though. Crawford is fighting too many. He's not fighting a lot. He's fighting once every year.
Teofimo didn't stop there. He also questioned the level of opposition Crawford has faced leading up to this moment. Lopez pointed out that aside from Errol Spence, many of Crawford's biggest wins came against fighters who were already past their prime, a factor he believes could tilt the scales in Canelo's favor when the pressure is on.
No, it's just, I think what Canelo's really tapping into is mainly like, who is it that you face that's been at number 1? You know, other than Errol Spence. You know, I think Sean Porter, we can't take anything away, but Sean Porter was on the way on the decline. The same way for Amir Khan. You know, those guys weren't the same.
However, MMA star Alexander Volkanovski offered a high stake on the highly anticipated fight, expressing deep respect for both Canelo and Crawford. He admitted he's undecided on who holds the advantage, emphasizing that Crawford's skill and Canelo's size create a fascinating clash. For Volkanovski, this matchup is too close to call, making it a must-watch event.
Oh man, that's incredible to see happening. But, you know, it would be interesting to see how, Canelo and Crawford goes. Obviously, moving up. Man, Canelo's a beast. So it's, but Crawford's so good. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Who am I leaning towards? Man, Crawford's so good, but Canelo having the size. I don't know, man. I can't pick it. Look at me. I literally cannot pick it. I just think I just got so much respect for both of them. I think they're both incredible, and I cannot just wait to watch and see the result.
The countdown to this epic showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is more than just hype. It's a collision of skill, power, and legacy. With insights from legends and champions alike, the fight promises to test Crawford's adaptability against Canelo's size and relentless pressure. Every prediction points to a brutal, strategic battle where experience meets raw talent and only one will rise. Who do you think will come out on top in this brutal clash? Canelo with his power and pressure, or Crawford with his skill and speed? Drop your prediction and why in the comments below.